Today, we're talking about all the steel cards in Ursula Returns. This is Aladdin. He is a Floodborn hero character. The 3/3 stat line, pretty good, but his ability is even better. Whenever this character quests, you may banish chosen item. There's lots of items that are out right now with Arcasia's Island, and Aladdin is going to be able to get rid of some of those. So you could either play benja on 2 that has a 2/3 stat line, or you can play Aladdin. The main reason why Aladdin was so popular for so long was that he triggered Bucky, but now that nobody's going to discard a location card in order to shift Aladdin just to remove a item card, it's not too worth it at this point when you can just play him on 3 and to like get the benefit of having Aladdin with a card under it, it's not going to be there. But speaking of Aladdin shifts, this is the shift target. This is Aladdin, the Resolute Swordsman. What was this one called? I just call him Floodborn. Brave Rescuer. That's right. This Aladdin is the Resolute Swordsman, 1/3, the Storyborn hero. He says, how about we cut to the part where I make a quick escape and y'all yell after me? No, can't say I didn't give you the chance. And then he's over here. It's kind of rare in Disney Lorcana that we get free feet picks, but there it is right there in Aladdin, the Resolute Swordsman. Argies. The Cyclops only got one eye, is one of the Titan characters. This is one of the sets that we got Titan characters in. Maybe it was the only set that we got Titan characters in. 4/1 stat line, absolutely huge. People thought that this could be the answer for Daisy Duck, but it wasn't. It's still all right in my book, and it has some utility in decks that are lacking some strength. Like if you need to be able to take out locations, Args is a pretty good location destroyer. If you know that your meta has a whole bunch of locations going on, if you know that there's McDuck fiends out there, then you can go ahead and play yourself a copy of Args to be able to do some early game damage. On turn 3, you can swing this and then take them out. But turn 3 will always be the fastest that you could ever play the Args in and challenge him. Like you play him on 2, and then on turn 3, he is dry and ready to challenge. Oh, I guess you could do it in red. And Vitalisphere? No, Vitalisphere costs ink to banish it. That's why we're doing these videos, to know the wombo combos. This Ariel is a determined mermaid. 2/4 stat line. 2/4 is pretty good. Is she looking at Arcasia's Island, or is she looking at Prince Eric's Island? I don't know. She's got that princess keyword, and that's all right. Whenever you play a song card, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. We see that a lot in Steel. Seal is a great color to be able to scry a little bit. And then Ariel here got a big Floodborn version. This one, he can shift it for 4. That's pretty good. And then it's got this crazy ability right here. When you play a song, you may pay 2 ink to deal 3 damage to chosen character. So I always get this twisted. I always hoped that it was you pay 3 ink and then they only do 2 damage. But no, dude, it's they pay 2 ink and then they do 3 damage. 3 damage is absolutely huge. It takes out your Diablo while it's at Hidden Cove. This was a super good tech card for the Ursula Returns meta to take out those Diablo Devoted Heralds. Right now, hasn't seen much play. It got an enchanted version, which is well welcomed. Any princess can get an enchanted version, and it's all right by me. It's had some bit of success, as you can see from the top decks here. Ariel, the Sonic Warrior, is all right by me. Up next, we got this Beast. I like this Beast. I think it's kind of good, especially for challenger decks. I put it in a few decks myself, and because it can hit the song card. Is the song card in this one? Yeah, the One Last Hope. One Last Hope says chosen character gains resist 2 until the start of your turn. If a hero is chosen, they may also challenge ready characters this turn. And how much does that song cost? It costs 3. And then this Beast is a 3 cost card, but you're not going to be using him to sing the song. But like if he's already on the board, then you could play that song next turn. And then what happened is he can challenge ready characters, and he has resist 1. So he's basically a 2/4. It's kind of a good deal. We like Beast, and it's even better than 2/4 because he like you can do multiple challenges. I like this Beast. Which is this Beast called? Thick Skinned. That's right. And this is kind of a different art style that we've seen on other Disney Lorcana cards. I like this artist a lot. I like this style of like more comic booky, I guess I'd say. Less outliney, more comic booky. This is Chifu, the Imperial Advisor, 0/5 stat line. That's all right. 5 means you can stick around for a bit. How are they going to remove you? Not even a Madam and Fox can take this out. While this character has no damage, he gets +2 lore. So this thing quest for 3 big ones. That's absolutely nuts until it has a damage and then it quests for 1. But that's still all right to quest for 1. We like the sound of that. Chifu, kind of a distraction card. Another distraction card, Shinpo. The Imperial Soldier, 4/7 stat line. The 4 is absolutely huge. If they try to challenge one of your characters, they're going to be met by bro here, and then they're going to take 4 damage back. That takes out a lots of cards, like at least half of the cards ever made, right? Got that bodyguard ability, so it could interplay exerted, and then if they want to choose one of your characters to challenge, they're going to have to take out bro first, and it's not going to be happen. They're going to be met with aggression. The legendary Donald Duck boarding party, they've made lots of legendary Donald Ducks, and they haven't ever popped off, but hopefully one day they do pop off. Too bad they didn't give them like a duck keyword that they could really overpower in the future. That would have been cool if all Donald Ducks had the duck keyword. That's just my opinion. 3/4 stat line, that's all right. We would like to see a little bit more strength. Like, I'd take this ability if it was a 5 cost card and then it could hit for 5/4. Like, I'm just saying, maybe this should have been a little bit more of an expensive card for this ability. During your turn, whenever this character banishes a character in a challenge, your other characters gain +1 lore this turn. So if this guy takes out a character, your other characters can quest for a whole bunch. Depending on how many characters you have, that can be a whole lot of value, or that can be no value at all. And then if you ready him up again with cards that they have in Ruby to ready characters, you know, the ones, but they can't like quest, they can just attack again. You can take out another one, and then all your other characters are questing for 2 more lore because you can add another trigger into the bag. Kind of love to see it. This one got a playmat, and I saw this person that like makes foiling cutouts on their cricket, and then you can like iron it on yourself. That's kind of cool. Cool little playmat, cool little Donald Duck. Nobody stands a chance against the daring duck of the high seas. I just had a high C at McDonald's today. It was orange flavor Hercules, the beloved hero, 6/5 stat line, absolutely huge. And it's got the resist one, so kind of like a 6/6, but maybe even better than that. It's got bodyguard and it can quest for 2. So you better believe that you're going to quest this guy for 2, and then your opponents are going to have to challenge into it. And it's going to be too bad, too sad for them. Pretty good. And it's got some good keywords right there. It's a good Hercules. This LeFaux is overlooked. Like, people are thinking that 3-drop bill, that's a 3/3 stat line, is like blowing their minds right now. LeFaux does the same things, dude. It says during your turn, you may play this character 4 freezies if an opponent character was banished in a challenge this turn. So if your Calhoun takes somebody out, then you can play this card for free. It's that good. Like, if they do fall for the good old Calhoun jokes, then boom, LeFaux is going to punish them even more by putting another big boy into the playing field. Opportunistic flunky. I learned from the best. I think he's talking about Gaston, but it might be another mentor. Li Shang. 5/5, absolutely huge. Quest for 2. Would you rather have a beast tragic hero that's a 3/5 stat line that quest for 2, or would you rather get rid of beast ability for 2 more strength? Li Shang's all right, and you can use him to challenge stuff. There's lots of good challenger decks, and this one can't be a target. Does he get the he doesn't get the prince keyword, but he got the hero captain keyword. Love to see it. The captain keyword, underrated. Did you know that this could protect your captain, your Mr. Smee, from taking a damage if you put a Li Shang onto board? The Imperial Captain, that's right. Ling, the Imperial Shoulder. So you're telling me that this one was an Imperial Shoulder and this one is an Imperial Shoulder? Too good. Full of Spirit, your hero characters gets +1 strength this turn. So this can buff all your hero characters. Not as good as the Lumiere. That only costs 2. That gives all of your characters +2 strength, but that's just my opinion. And Lumiere's a 2/2. Like, you don't need this extra strength out here. Your hero characters get +1 lore, so it's not going to affect any of these ally characters. It's too bad. We need some ally synergies going on. Luisa Madrigal played this a lot in the sealeds. I thought it was all right. While you have another character in play, this character gets +2 strength, so you can be a 4/4 and drop it on turn 3, and then you can use it to challenge. You need to be able to take out other people's cards. I like her little windmill, little propeller shield. That's kind of cool. And what's that? A Floodborn Cusco? Is this a llama Cusco in the background that we're seeing? Don't at me in the comments. Magic Broom, the Ariel Cleaner. Maybe that's why people say I say Ariel's name wrong. Ariel? I pronounce Ariel like I pronounce Ariel. Ariel. I think I'm learning something here today. This is a little Magic Broom, and we haven't gotten some Magic Broom synergies in a long time, so we were glad to see this guy. It says during your turn, this character gains evasive. This was a Diablo counter back in the day, it was pretty good because it could hit the 2 on the Diablo and then stay alive to be able to quest the next turn. It spends its days keeping the treasure glimmers in the Hall of Lorcana. Sparkling clean. What's the Hall of Lorcana? Dude, what? There's a Hall of Lorcana? I thought there was a realm of Lorcana. Now you're telling me Lorcana is in a hall? In the Hall of Lorcana. Lorcana's a realm. Dude, what? There's some deep lore in this one. This magic broom was done dirty, mostly because it doesn't get the night keyword. If this had a night keyword, it would be downright playable, but it's not. Only in broom decks it belongs. It has the resist 1, which makes it absolutely huge. It has this character gets +2 strength for each other character named magic broom you have in play. So if you just have one other broom in play, this is a 4/6 character. If you have 2 brooms in play, you guessed it, this is a 6/6 character with resist 1. Absolutely huge. What are they going to do to be able to take out your magic broom? Brigade commander, they're going to have to take out your other brooms, and they're not going to do it because you won't quest them. This is the Mickey Mouse that pairs well with your brooms. Got that shift 3, so you can shift on some of those small Mickeys. Got that resist 1, love to see it. And then it's got the sweep away ability. When you play this character, deal damage to chosen character equal to the number of broom characters you have in play. So you got to build up your board, and then boom, shift the Mickey, and then it's going to deal damage to chosen character equal to the number of broom characters you have in play. So it's kind of a Strength of the Raging Fire or brooms when you shift it, or just when you hard play it on turn 5. Kind of cool, kind of works. This special art is from the Illumineers Quest Deep Trouble box, and then this was the one that you can pull in the pack. And this is the one that came in the D23. You had to go to D23, and then they gave them out as promos. Other people just got like random promos of it. I don't have one of these, and the $150 price tag will tell you why I don't have one of those cards. Mickey Mouse, this is a good shift target for that other Mickey. Got the standard bearer because he's bearing the flag, the 1/3 stat line. Stand strong. When you play this character, chosen character gains challenger +2 this turn. They get +2 while challenging. The 1/3 stat line, but his ability super good, and then it gives you a shift target, and then you could give somebody +2 challenger. You could give this broom +2 challenger. Love to see it. Mulan, does she have the princess keyword? She sure does. This one is Mulan, but she's dressed up like Ping. So what's going on here? 3/6 stat line. That's a whole lot on a 4-cost body. That's actually a super deal on a 4-cost, if you ask me. Maybe what I really wanted was to prove I could do things right. So when I looked in the mirror, I'd see someone worthwhile. Hello, TTs. Philocrates? That's not how you say it. Storyborn ally. Got that 2/3 stat line. I'm telling you, when we get some ally synergies going on, it's going to pop off. Your hero characters gain challenger +1. Don't mind if I do. That's a little bit better than this Ling, yeah? I guess it costs 1 more, and it does the exact same ability, but its second ability is super sicko. Whenever you play a hero character, gain 1 lore. Put some heroes on board, get some free lore. I played this in a Rockstar Stitch deck, and it was super fun because you can just flood the board and then try to keep getting more 1-cost heroes on board, which there's lots of 1-cost heroes. Like Aladdin here is a 1-cost hero, and then you can play him and then trigger good old Phil's ability to gain a lore. There's a whole deck archetype just around Phil. This is a legendary piglet. This legendary piglet got an enchanted, but it doesn't do too good. I'm going to try to play this next week with a steel, the dual color sapphire steel card. It's got resist 1. It's all right. It says, while you have no cards in your hand, this character can challenge ready characters. So you better believe I'm going to have no cards in my hand, and then I'm going to challenge a ready character, but it only hits for 3. Cinderella can do this so much better for 2 more cost inkable and has the same amount of lore. Like, this got outclassed by a super rare, and that's kind of tough. It makes the piglet sturdy swordsman just not feel like the best amount of value. Like, just make it more expensive and give it the same ability as Cinderella, and then we'll be cooking. The Raja Royal Protector 3/4 stat line, that's what I'm talking about. So this one, it costs 4, and it's got the 3/6 stat line. This one costs 4, and it's got the 3/4 stat line, which is what we normally see. This one quests for 2. So already miles better than this. Like, you're really paying 2 more willpower to get another lore. That's kind of a good deal. While you have no cards in your hand, characters with cost 4 or less can't challenge this character. So this one specific card they can't challenge. Is it worth it? Maybe. I like it. That's kind of a mood if you discard yourself. And look how scared this guy is, dude. He's losing it. Raya is a Dreamborn hero princess. Got the 3/6 stat line. Is a super rare. Is she worth the super rare? This is exactly what I was talking about. I was like, hey, Give her some Cinderella Stout-Hearted stats, and then we'll talk. It's got the Challenger too, so it can go to a 5/6 win challenging, which is one more than the Cinderella Stout-Hearted. It's got the Resist too, so it's basically an 8. And it's got that you give it your best during your turn. Whenever this character banishes another character in challenge, you may draw a card. Pretty good. I might be using this in that dual color Hey Hey deck also. That is not that bad, especially for the 7 cost. You get a whole lot of value, but it only quests for 2. But I think it's good enough value. Yao, the last Imperial soldier that we're going to talk about, the ally, 2/5. But when he's challenging, he goes to a 4/5. I'm going to hit you so hard, I'll make your ancestors dizzy. That's just kind of a crazy thing to say, yeah. And then on to our items and action cards. Our first action card was Avalanche, says deal 1 damage to each opposing character. You may banish chosen location. This was a pretty spicy deck. Tech, not deck. This was a tech, especially for the Bucky meta. You play one of these in your anti-Bucky list, and then it can do the 1 damage to Bucky on turn 4, get rid of them, and then you'll be good to go. And then you can also get rid of their hidden cove. So it was made to take out those green steel players for sure, and it might see a little bit of comeback in those green field decks that need to damage lots of characters. This can damage lots of characters for 4 cost and take out locations if you don't want them having locations. You can build your sideboard right into the deck by putting one of these cards into your thing, except for you can't ink it. So what's the point of that? You just mulligan aggressively to either have it or don't have it. I find in my Platinum kind of a perfect song card. It says banish all items, both yours and your opponent's. They're gone from the field. But if you sing this first and then play your own item, then you'll have an item and your opponent doesn't. Nananat goo goo. I don't ask how hard the work is. I got a rough, indestructible surface. And to see this little symbol right here, how it's like a little sideways treble clef, that means that it's a lyric from a song. From this song I find in my Platinum. And that's just great. One last hope. Look at this Hercules holding up this training dummy and one of these big old sharks. We already talked about this. The chosen character can gain resist 2 if it's a hero. Then it can challenge ready characters. Pretty good, pretty spicy, especially with the Relentless Beast. It was a whole thing. The mob song, action song, sing together for 10. 10 is absolutely huge. Deal 3 damage to up to 3 chosen characters and or locations. You can't choose the same character 3 times. It's got to be 3 different characters and or locations. So you can do 9 damage if you want to have to pay 10 ink of singing power to be able to do it. Triton's Decree I thought was pretty spicy. It can get around your opponent's ward. Another card that can again get rid of Bucky pretty fast, but now that Bucky's been nerfed to oblivion, it's not the best, but it's kind of cool and sealed. Like this card in sealed, it's a little spicy little trick. Each opponent chooses one of their characters and deals 2 damage to them. Ursula'S foul creatures are not welcome in my kingdom, says Triton. The Fortisphere is also known as the Steel Popsicle because when you play it, you get to draw a card and it only costs 1. So blue steel decks really relied on this and Popsicle for their beginning turns. And then it can also be a little bit of spicy. You can give one of your characters bodyguard until the start of your next turn. The amount of times I've seen people do that, I can proudly count on one hand. The Imperial Bow is making a big comeback right now, especially with the Mushu Challenger deck. This one is an item. You pay it down for 2, and then you have to pay another ink to activate its ability. It says chosen hero character gains challenger +2 and evasive this turn. So good, dude. Being able to take out evasive characters, you need to be able to do that. This is kind of your answer to the Maui Shark in the new Mushu Challenger deck. You need to be able to take them out, and this is how you're going to do it with a 2 cost item that you activate for 1 more. RLS Cannon, RLS Legacy's Cannon. We've seen this cannon in the Baboon card. We've seen effects like this in Fire the Cannons. But now we have the cannon that we can just lock and load every turn. You exert it, you pay 2 ink, so you pay 1 more than Fire the Cannons. You discard a card, so you have to do crazy amounts of work just to make this happen. You pay it down for 3 ink. That's 3 ink down the drain. Then you have to exert it, and then you pay 2 ink. That's 5 ink. Not only that, you have to discard a card. Then you can deal 2 damage to chosen character or location. So help me, I'll use the ship cannons to blast ya all to kingdom come, says John Silver. You gotta pay the cost to deal the damage. The wall is an interesting one, but also not really. Don't even bother thinking about this card. Like, read it once and then throw it out of your mind because you'll never see it played ever. While you have an exerted character while here, your other locations can't be challenged. Boo-hoo, maybe this saves your McDuck manners. but like they're going to take this out just as fast as they're taking out your McDuck Manners. And then you have to pay 6 ink to get that effect. That's too much ink to get that effect, especially if you're playing this in blue where it would matter to save your McDuck Manners. Thebes 2/7. This one can see a little bit of play in the coming up deck. From Mushu Challenger says during your turn, whenever a character banishes another character in a challenge while here, gain 2 lore. So if you have a Mushu card and a Robin Hood Champion of Sherwood, and Robin Hood Champion of Sherwood is at Thebes, and he banishes somebody in a challenge, you'll gain 6 lore with that combo. If you have 2 Mushus on board, that's 8 lore in that combo. If you have 3 lore, 3 Mushus, that's half the game that you can get in one challenge. Kind of cool. Thebes definitely should have gotten the Enchanted and not the Wall, but that's just my opinion. And then we got the 3 Enchanteds. We got Ariel, the Piglet, the Wall, and then this Mickey Mouse is also numbered in the set. It's number 225 out of 204, but it comes in a different product. It comes in the Lumineer's Quest Deep Trouble. That's all the steel cards in Ursula's Return, and that concludes all of Ursula's Return. Thanks for watching. Next week, we're going to finally be talking about the Arcasia's Island cards, so click the recommended video and see what happens over there. Please smash the subscribe button, especially if you've gotten that far. That probably means that you like what I've had to say so far. It would be greatly appreciated if you subscribed. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers.